And good evening, barflies and lounge lizards, and welcome to Late Night Video. And tonight we'll be discussing Creepozoids from 1987. Directed by B-movie luminary David DeCoteau, Creepozoids is a post-apocalyptic creature feature that takes place in the distant year of 1998, a time in which nuclear war has destroyed all the bras. A group of military deserters, people that really like dessert, are seeking refuge from the toxic environment. They come across an abandoned scientific facility, which at first seems pretty darn good, but soon they discover it was the site of strange and unusual experiments, including a large mutant monster. There's also some inappropriate rats. Director Dave DeCoteau is one that most snack bar patrons should be quite familiar with, having directed Sorority Babes in the Slimeball Bowl-orama, Nightmare Sisters, and Puppet Master 3, which is easily my favorite of the series. He did production work on some interesting films as well, including Trancers 2 and Robot Ninja, a really underrated, dark, masked hero film. Creepazoids stars a classy lady you all know and love, and if you don't, you must be some kind of monster, Linnea Quigley, as one of our tank-top rocking deserters. Quigley has a vast and impressive resume, including the aforementioned Sorority Babes and Nightmare Sisters with David DeCoteau. But she was also in the first few Vice Academy films and the greatest chainsaw-themed hard-boiled detective film of all time, Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers. She was also a musician. The Santa Monica Boulevard Boys song was all kinds of awesome. Then we have Ken Abraham as another member of the little group. Abraham was also in the first Vice Academy film as well as Hobgoblins. And lastly, I wanted to mention Kim McCamey as our other female lead. We'll discuss her a bit more in a moment, but genre film-wise, she also appeared in Angel 3 and Dreamaniac. The effects in this one are quite good and very effective. I remember seeing some photos in a magazine when I was a lad and being so impressed, it made me want to see the movie as soon as it hit video, and I did. The giant rats in the film are particularly impressive with their big creepy eyes. They don't move much, but they are still quite lifelike. The star of the show, at least the one I can talk about that isn't a giant spoiler, is our mutant creature. It looks like a xenomorph had a baby with an Umber Hulk, and hot dog, not only an inappropriate pairing, but a TTRPG reference. I had my radioactive Wheaties today. There's also some nice zombie effects as well, but I can't show you that either because it would also be a spoiler. This is yet another film with a whole lot of people credited with the special effects, including Dave DeCoteau himself credited as HL Smokem for atmospheric effects. Another name of particular interest is William Butler, who is not only a director, but also an actor, appearing in the Tom Savini version of Night of the Living Dead and Arena from 1989. Dave DeCoteau not only directed Creepazoids, but also co-wrote and produced it. Shot in 15 days, this was DeCoteau's first 35mm film and cost somewhere around $150,000 to make. At one point there was a sequel in the works, but it fell through rather quickly, possibly because of the demise of Empire Pictures, even before an actual script was written, with DeCoteau saying that was back in the days where we announced a sequel and pre-sold rights and made it when the money came in. Creepazoids did apparently get a remake though in 1997 under the title Hybrid. Directed by the great Fred Olen Ray and starring Brink Stevens, Hybrid features a similar setup to Creepazoids, but there's quite a few big differences. I was unable to find any actual confirmation as to whether or not it is an official remake, but that does seem to be the popular opinion. It's the tank tops, I think. And speaking of things I couldn't find, another was the name of the artist who did the amazing poster art for the film. And talk about a great poster. You see that, you know exactly what you're getting. And finally, Creepazoids had a short theatrical run before hitting video. It played on a double bill with Orson Welles' final film, Slave Girls from Beyond Infinity. This one isn't extremely sleazy, though there is a bit, but interestingly, Kim McCamey, who was the most dressed of our leading ladies, would go on to become a very well-known adult film star, performing under the name Ashlyn Gear. The music in the film is great, sounding like an Italian horror film mixed with a Cinemax booby movie. The music in the opening scene is particularly good. It manages to make a group of people walking around doing basically nothing quite entertaining. And said music was composed by Guy Moon, Moon also did the music for Sorority Babes and Simon Bolorama, as well as a whole bunch of work in cartoons. Creepazoids has been released on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and Laserdisc. This one is definitely a slimy good time, and at only an hour and 12 minutes, it's a good, quick watch. And though many write it off as an Alien knockoff, it has a lot to offer and definitely does its own thing. And that's all the time we have for this weekend. Before we go, I wanted to ask Linnea, what do you think of the snack bar?
Wrong, all wrong. You don't know what this is.
Can I get a second opinion?
I can't stand this.
Well, can't argue with that. And that's all the time we have for this week. Please like, comment, subscribe, watch the skies, and stay atomic.
Imagine, beneath the surface, in the underworld of vinyl, plastic, rubber, leather, wood, a battle rages against rot. And nothing fights rot like Armor All Protectant. It penetrates surfaces, shields against rot. Win the battle against rot with Armor All Protectant. Armor All makes your world less rotten.
Hold it right there. Don't you know that wherever litter starts, it moves? From parks to streets, from highways to waterways, wind and weather move trash around the community, spreading disease and creating hazards for animals and wildlife. Always clean up your own mess and dispose of trash in a proper receptacle. You pack it, you sack it. And remember to go green with Dr. Gangrene.
Hi, come closer, closer. I've been waiting to hear from you. Why not call the Singles Connection right now and get in touch with America's hottest singles?
The Singles Connection. For adults over 18.
Let's get personal right away. Call the Singles Connection now. You never know where it might lead. Go ahead. I'm waiting.
From the most beautiful place in the world comes the most exotic tanning product in the world. Hawaiian Tropic. Natural oils, tropical fruits, flora, nuts, and protective sunscreens. A complete sun care line created by one man, Ron Rice, for one reason.
White is for laundry.